Sorry about that, guys. My connection has dropped again. I think my LAN cable might have died on me, so I do apologise. I've just switched to Wi-Fi now, so hopefully I won't drop out again. Not the greatest start from me. I do apologise. Absolute nightmare. Jesus Christ. So we'll see what strategy everyone decides to run. I know that I ran hards in the sprint on Friday, so it'll be either a hard or a medium, I'd imagine, from people. Softs, I don't think you'll be able to get round, but we'll soon find out. And then I will go back through the grid order for you all. Like I say, I can only apologise. I haven't had this many connection issues for a number of seasons now, since I switched to LAN, but obviously we'll go on Wi-Fi for the time being. Hopefully that holds up, and then I'll get it sorted for next week. So Gould takes pole, that's an absolute joke. Anderson P2, Riker P3, Wookie P4, Wee Rabby P5, Clay P6 after a wheel disconnect, Chip P7, Marshall P8, Hindsight P9, Phoenix P10, Gameful P11, James Brown P12, Kane P13, Halsey P14, Ruban 15, Wabstappen 16, Coltram 17, Bloom 18, Curly 19, Otto 20th. There is two hard runners by the looks of things. That is Curly and Marshall. Everyone else opting for the medium tyre. As 5 red lights are up and out and away we go. Looks like Gould's got a pretty good start. Anderson jumping alongside him, going down the inside. Someone's getting on the grass. Everyone appears to have got through. Wee Rabbit had a bit of an issue. He's got all the way to the back. Gould now coming under a bit of pressure from Riker. Wabber's had a little spin as well. Doesn't look like he's got any damage from that though. Anderson just getting the better of Gould at the moment. Riker and Wookie going side by side. Wookie manages to get the move done. Up to P3 for Wookie. Gould now starts to stabilise that delta to Anderson. Looks like he's going to line up a move, heads to the outside. Let's go around the outside, and that's opening the door up for Wookie, who looks for a bit of a switchback. Not going to get it done, it doesn't look like. DRS now is enabled. So Wookie now up to P2, Riker P3, Gould P4. Anderson now extending his lead over Wookie behind. DRS is so powerful around here though, down the pit straight. So that gap is completely gone now. So we'll see what Wookie can do down into turn 4. Not going to be close enough this time around. Clay getting very close to the back of Chip. Riker is just teetering on the edge of losing DRS to Wookie. He's now managed to get himself back in again. Everyone's still within DRS of each other apart from the bottom 3. Big DRS train from first all the way down to 17th. See if Wookie can do it this time around. Don't think he's gonna be close enough. Anderson just compromising his line through 1 to try and cover off the inside just in case. Clay and James Brown were having a little battle there. Looks like Clay's going to get the move done on Chip this time. Down the inside he goes, down into turn 4. Chip doesn't fight it too hard. Let's see if Clay can now stretch his legs a little bit and try and get back into the DRS of Gould. Wookie up the inside of Anderson. Stays up the inside, which will then become the outside line. Anderson will just have a little tap there, not lost too much time. Clay's pushing hard to get back into that second mark. Cole as well might lose DRS to Marshall. Let's see if he does or not. Looks like it's going to be okay this time around, so that DRS train is still there. Gould now looking to attack Riker. Gets a nice little run out of 2. Just don't think he's going to get it done. Let's see if the Ferraris are going to have a battle or not. It doesn't look like they are this time. As Clay decides to overtake Gould. Clay now up to P4. Showing good pace here as we approach the halfway mark in this sprint race. Halsey and Hindsight going side by side. It looks like Marshall's trying to capitalise on that mistake by Halsey. Halsey just getting shoveled onto the grass. Anderson then takes the lead of the race back from Wookie. Players all over the back of Riker. Looks like he's going to try and make that move down the inside. Gets it done nicely into turn 4. In my opinion, anyone in that top 5 can take this race winner. They're all capable enough of doing it. I don't think that is Clay's driving, he's doing that. Sounds like he's redlining everything. That's definitely, I don't think that is Clay that's doing that, I think that's the game. Chips managed to jump back into the 1 second mark of Gould. Gets DRS. Anderson then, Wookie takes Anderson again. These two just swapping positions. At this stage of the race, I don't really think it matters which one's going to be P1, P2. As Bloom picks up 3 seconds for track limits. Or as Anderson goes off. We'll see if Anderson makes the move again on Wookie. As Halsey and Hindsight have a little battle. Hindsight looking back down the inside of Halsey, can't get it done that time around. Still nose to tail between these top 5s. That noise is doing me in. Let's look at some position changes for you. James Brown up 6 positions, Halsey up 6, Carl Trim up 6, Wee Rabby down 10, Phoenix down 8, Gameful down 9. Yes, Bob, I'm trying to do something though, mate. Please go to bed. Please go to bed. Jesus Christ. Kill me now. Anderson just not quite close enough that time into turn 4 to make the overtake work. Bob, please. Please, mate. Seriously. Riker is now just dropping out of DRS from Clay. Managed to get back in now. Anderson looks a lot closer this time around to make the move onto Wookie into turn 1. Around the outside he goes, a little bit of a wheel touch. Wookie has a bit of contact with his rear, but nothing too drastic. Wookie then re-overtakes Anderson back into turn 4. That's allowed Clay to get on the back of these two. Riker's now out of the DRS of the guys ahead. That could open the door for Gould down the pit straight. Gould obviously being your championship leader at the moment. As Rabby and Curly just switching positions there. Don't know if Anderson's going to be close enough to make the move into turn 1 on this lap. And Clay's not going to be close enough to make the move on Anderson into turn 1 either, or as Wuban has retired. Coming out of, I think that's Jim Sal. Just in the wall there, it's unfortunate though. It's unfortunate, but there's no safety car because we are in the final 2 laps of the race. Bob. Clay's just dropping slightly off the back of Anderson. Can imagine their tyres aren't feeling too great at this point. Anderson's still not quite close enough. We'll see if he's close enough into turn 4. Has a bit of a slide into 1 that's going to give Clay a good run on him. I'm not sure Clay's going to be close enough though. Anderson definitely won't be close enough this time around into 4. That might come down to a drag race. Down the pit straight. As Rabby picks up 3 seconds worth of track limit penalties. Anderson get a bit squirrely there. Out of 5 and into 6. He's lost the DRS. This might be an opportunity to play if he can stay close enough to him. Try and get him down the pit straight. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to though. DRS open. Wookie taking your sprint win. Anderson P2, Clay P3, Riker P4, Gould almost takes P4 but ends up P5, Chip P6, James Brown P7. I think Marshall just got Howsey on the line to take P8, Howsey P9, Cole P10, Wab P11, Curly 12, Bloomstar 13, Rabby 14, Kane 15, Phoenix 16, Hindsight 17, Osso 18 and Gainful rounding out the finishes in 19th, with Wuban the only retiree from the sprint race. Just confirmation then of the results there. Wiki taking a win, Anderson P2 and Clay takes the P3. As we now move on to feature qualifying. What the hell is going on here? Why is it saying everyone's... It's telling me that people have already set times apparently. Curly will be the first one to set a time. So we'll see what Curly can do. understand this little glitch that's going on now. It's a bit weird that. So Curly goes P1 for 1094. I'm not sure who's going to be next. Might be Riker. It is Riker and he goes 1085. Who's that? That's across the line. This is weird. Julian was on an outlap. Might be Bloom next. He sets a 1098. Marshall jumps in there with 109 flat. Ferrari. Chip with a 109 flat as well. Phoenix, I'm guessing. Gameful a 109 flat as well. Anderson a 1086. Evening, how's it, mate? Appreciate the you chucking me a couple of invites there. It's a 1083 for Clay. Phoenix is a 1089. I'm guessing Kane is a 1091. This little glitch that's going on. It's really not easy to actually see what's going on here. It's nice of EA and Codemasters to make a game that works. 1092 for hindsight, puts himself P9. James Brown has just crossed the line to start his first run. Yeah, decent lap there, Clay, mate. Saying James is apparently 2 seconds over his time, but I'm not too sure whether that's true or not. I'm guessing it is. Sets of 130. I don't know what's right and what's wrong here, to be honest. Wookie is just coming around final couple of corners. And he sets a 110.6, puts himself P12 at the moment. Wab is on an outlap. I think he might be the next to set a time, I'm guessing. Or is it Wee Rabby? It could be Wee Rabby actually. We'll stay on board with him for the time being. James then goes and sets a 108.9. So then Wee Rabby is 1.9 seconds underneath whatever that time was. Yeah, I agree there, Clay. Gold for tier 1. 108.9 for Wee Rabby. Gold just come around the final corner. This will probably be a 106 for gold. A 108.3 for gold as well. Getting tight at the top there. Someone else just jumped in there as well. Didn't quite see who that was. Might have been Wookie, to be fair. Sam Marshall is over on his time currently. A bit of inside information. Clay saying Gould is faster in sector 1 and 3, but attempts slower in sector 2. So we'll keep an eye on them boys. Marshall then decides to jump into the pits. Scott his half attempt up through the first sector. Gets a bit squirrely there out of 5. Takes 6 nicely. That McLaren is currently almost 3.5 tenths over on his time, but it is also powered by Iron Brew this season. Kane is currently half a tenth up through the first sector. It appears that he is probably going to be the next one to set a time, I'm pretty sure. He's currently 3.5 tenths better off through the first 2 sectors. Let's see if he can continue that down the pit straight. And he does improve. Just under 2 tenths, puts himself P11 currently. Carl Trim will be next. He's looking about a 109.5 currently. That will obviously improve as he comes down the pit straight. Could be a good lap here. It's a 109.3 for Carl. Puts himself P14. Don't ask Halsey. It's I think it's a game glitch, mate. Because as soon as we come into the session, everyone had lap times. So I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but yeah, it's not exactly making my job very easy to tell who's had a lap and who hasn't. So yeah, don't worry about that, you haven't had a lap yet. Gainful is out at the moment. Yeah, Wu Van also and Halsey, 2-spec Clay, yeah. Car's just had a lap. Gainful. Yeah, the problem is Halsey, I think, is just going off your actual natural pace, mate. So 111's about right. I'm guessing Gainful. Yeah, he's almost 5 seconds over, so that's not going to be his time. Wookie is almost 8/10 over. Ruben is going to be the next to set a time, I believe. He's 1.6 seconds up on that time that he never set. So he's currently looking at a 1:09.6 he sets. I've completely lost the plot. I don't know what's going on. But yeah. Chip is currently getting a tow from that Williams. Old Scottish is coming around sector 2 now. See what he can do. He's currently a 1/10.5 better off through the first 2 sectors. See if he can find any more time down the pit straight. Gould is still in the pits. We'll see if he comes out anytime soon. Wee Rabby improved by 2 temps. Clay is now coming. Yes. He's aborted that lap. Wookie then at a 1:08.2. Good lap from Wookie there. Doesn't look like we're going to get any sign from Gould. Oh, we are. Yeah, he's coming out now. Left it a bit late, but we'll see if he can get round. He obviously wants to be one of the last 2 set at that time. Clay's not quite on his lap just yet. Chip takes the escape road. He wants to get out of the way of people. Wow. He's on a lap. He's half a temp over. Clay Tone has started his next fly and run. Heading down to turn 4. Looks like he's going to be stuck behind an Aston Martin though. It's just over half a tenth over. Through sector 1, needs to find a bit more time through sector 2 and 3. Gould, let's see if he's improving. Gould's half a tenth better off through the first sector. So the car in front of Clay is going to hurt him through the second sector. 1:08.1 from Anderson, but it's probably going to give him a massive toe now going down the pit straight. So we'll see if he can improve. And he doesn't. It's still half temp over, unfortunate. Gould then is 2 temps better off through the first 2 sectors. 108 flat from Gould. Get that man into tier 1. Absolute menace. So 108.2 for Riker. Puts himself into P3. GLN has invalidated. That's unfortunate for him. Hindsight is 16 seconds over. I think that is going to be everyone. That is everyone. It's our lap time, so it will be Gould on pole. Anderson P2, Riker P3, Wookie P4. Clayton on P5, Weeraby 6, Chip 7, Phoenix 8, Gameful 9, Kane 10, James Brown 11, Marshall 12, Hindsight 13, Halsey 14, Bloom 15, Curly 16, Carl 17, Wab 18, Wuban 19, and Oslo didn't set a time in P20. Just wait for everyone to pick their strategies for the race, and then we will get straight back into it. Let's have a look then. Yeah, I agree, Tim. Osso for driver of the day, but Osso also to get a track limit penalty, without a doubt. Gould hards, Anderson hards, Riker mediums, Wookie mediums, Clay mediums, Rabby hards, Chip mediums, Phoenix, and Gainful decide to take the hards. Kane decides to go with the mediums, James Brown mediums, Marshall hards, Hindsight mediums, Halsey hards, Bloom and Curly mediums, Carl hards, Wab Stappen hards, Wuban hards, and Mr. Track Limit penalty himself, Mr. Osso Bosso, going with the hards. We'll see how this one plays out. Apparently there is scheduled to be some rain at some point. When that'll be is a different question. So here we go then for the feature race here in Brazil of the sprint weekend. 5 red lights are up and out and away we go. Riker getting a good start there, trying to pull alongside of Anderson. Clay then gets a mega drive out of 2. I don't like the idea of 3 wide, but we'll see what happens here. Clay then picks off Woogie, someone's got damage. Looks like it could have been Anderson. There is yellow flags all over the track, which is Gould. Looks like Gould might have been the one to... He hasn't picked up damage, he's just nerfed out wide. Anderson's dropping down the order there like a fly. What's happened to him? Running across the grass, I'm not 100% sure what happened to him. Wuban has just been passed by Wab. Wuban now looking up the inside of... Oh, Jesus. There's a lot going on here at this race start. Everyone obviously jockeying for position. Oh my god. Three cars battling here at the back. Scary few moments in that little battle, so we'll head back towards the front to see what's going on. Wookie is probably going to get the move on Riker here with the assistance of DRS. I may stand corrected on that. I am corrected on that. Might get him into turn 4 though. He's starting to come under pressure from Clayton. There you go then, Wookie around the outside. Looks like he is going to get the move done on the outside there. Good move from Wookie that. Riker defending it like his life depended on it. I think everyone managed to get away for the first couple of laps quite cleanly. Obviously a few minor battles here, with a few little wheel bangs, but nothing too major. Biggest loser so far being Gould. He looks like he's bottled it after 2 laps. Bless his little heart. See if Riker then makes the move back on Wookie. Goes down the inside. Oh, Clay gets involved, takes P1, double overtakes Clay. Wookie's going to take P2 away from Riker, and it looks like Wee Rabby's having a little bit of a go as well. And within the space of 4 corners, Riker has gone from 2nd all the way down to 4. Clay now leads the race. DRS train all the way from 1st down to P15 currently. Let's see if Wookie attempts to make the move here. Doesn't, just sits behind Riker. Almost comes steaming into, or was it Riker? No, it looks like Wee Rabby almost comes steaming into the back of Wookie. See if Wookie makes the move into turn 4. Don't think he's going to be close enough this time around. But is getting a good drive out of 4 and up to 5. So we'll see how long it takes before the rain is due to hit. If the rain hits at all, we'll have a little look. James Brown has just lost the DRS of game floods at the moment. Clay looks to have a decent enough lead down pit straight. Might be able to keep position here again. Wee Rabby isn't going to have. Wookie just touches the back of Clay there. Oh, something's happened to Kane. Kane has had an issue in turn 1. It's unfortunate for him. Halsey makes it past Captain Hindsight. There's a battle a bit further up. I can't see what that's between. That's between. Oh, Gameful and Chip. Gameful is now in a wall, and that looks like he's brought out some sort of safety car. As these two are still racing, even though it is under the safety car, Wab and Gameful. Gameful doesn't have any wing after that. And I think I've just seen some rain. The rain has decided to hit. So we'll see what the guys at the front decide to do. Do they decide to pit onto these intermediates? They are. They're going early. Could be a good decision. Housley decides to carry on though. We'll see how badly that rain is going to come down. This could spice things up just a touch. There's 3 drivers that have decided to stay out, which is Gould, Phoenix and Halsey. Is that going to be a good decision or not is a different question. We'll also see whether the safety car is going to come in this lap since everyone has bunched back up again. I'm not 100% sure it will, but there was a late call on Friday night in the safety car. It doesn't look like he's going to do it this time. It looks like it's going to be next lap. So Phoenix and Gould decided to jump into the pits. Car was picked up at drive through, currently falling too far back. Never heard that name before, but that's unfortunate. Let's go through and we'll drive in a second. Still not sure that staying out was a good decision there. Hopefully that safety car is in this lap. Here we go then. Gonna get ourselves back underway. That track looks rather wet now, so see what Halsey can do, whether he's made the right strategy call or not. He's going to get us underway then. Gets a little bit of a jump on Clay. Clay's going to have company in Wee Rabby. As I've just noted, I was on mute that whole time, the whole first 2 laps. Brilliant. I was just saying that I thought it was a bad idea for Halsey to stay out, and it was just obvious that it was after only a couple of corners. Just didn't have the traction on the wet track. It's quite an easy pass for Clay to make, and then obviously getting that gap up to 2 seconds. Wee Rabby, strong lap from him. gained about 7/10 in that lap on clay. So we'll see if he can continue his charge towards the front. Obviously no DRS assistance either, so overtaking is primarily down to better drives, better traction out of corners, and a bit of battery help as well. Marshall makes it past Riker. Someone that was pretty strong in the wet last time around was Marshall. We'll see if he can continue that form. Wookie getting close to Wee Rabbit. Obviously on this game, slipstream isn't a massive thing like it has been in the past, unless you're basically tucked up behind the rear wing of the car ahead, which I think Wookie might have just about got a bit of slipstream there to try and help him leech onto the back of Wee Rabbit. Wab and Anderson going side by side. Wab just going off track, and that's going to open the door to James Brown around the outside. James Brown is going to get the slipstream from Anderson ahead. Wab just decides to slip back in behind James. Back to the front then, Wee Rabbit has brought it to within a second of play. As Bloom picked up 3 seconds for track limits. So Wee Rabbit now within half a second of Clay. Gap did open up momentarily, now it's just dropped back again. So within half a second, Wookie looking racy on the back of Wee Rabbit as well. Anderson makes it past Riker, I think it was. As Wab looks down the inside of Captain Hindsight, which is going to turn to the outside. Look like pretty clean racing there from them two guys. Let's go back to the battle at the front. Wee Rabbit is now right underneath the rear wing of Clay. be getting ever closer as well. Still not even near half race distance. Still a lot of racing left to go here, so anything could change the outcome of this race. Whether that being the track starting to dry up towards the end, or potential safety car again. Clay just seems to be holding his own at the moment. So not too much actually happening here. Obviously, you guys are trying to settle into a rhythm with the track conditions changing. As I say, there's a few overtakes. So Anderson decides that enough's enough. He's going to jump into the box. It looks like he's probably going to go on to another set of the inters. It's not a wing change, so yeah, he's jumped onto the inters. So we'll keep an eye on where that brings Anderson back out in terms of the field. Coming out of the end of the pit exit now. He's 6 seconds off the back of Osso. Gainful's just made it past his teammate CV Gould, your championship leader currently. Chip just falling off the back of Wookie a bit, and again the play just being quick where he needs to be quick. Let's just keep Wee Rabbit at bay. Let's see what happens in the next few laps. I'd imagine that some of these boys are going to end up having to pit. There's Riker and Hindsight are going side by side through turns 1, 2 and into 3. Hindsight just losing that battle there. It's going to put him under pressure from Wabstaff behind though. Riker trying to hold the inside line. Hindsight going around the outside. Looks like he's got a better drive out that corner. Good move there. So it looks like it's the closest that Wookie's been down the pit straight for a while now. Got a good run on Wee Rabbit. Not going to get it done though. As Wab picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Curly picks up 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. We've got a yellow flag. I don't know who that's for. Looked like it might have been for Phoenix and Halsey. Unsure why that was, but they're still going. Marshall looking to set up a move on Chip. Chip brought that gap back down to just over a second again. There is some more picks coming from Riker and Kane. So we'll see if that starts off a chain reaction. We'll see if the rest of them decide to pit. We'll have a look at what the gap to the leader is. It's about a 21-second pit stop, so if Clay was to, if the top three were to pit now, they'd come up just behind CV Gordon P11. So we'll see what those boys decide to do. Obviously 12 laps on them tyres now. There is, what, 17 left to go. Almost looked like Clay was throwing a bit of a dummy there. As Marshall goes down the inside of Chip, I think that was. Gets the move done. Now he's going to be looking to get onto the back of Wookie and dispatch Wookie as well. Halsey and Phoenix going at it. Halsey getting the better of Phoenix this time. And Marshall is definitely getting onto the back of Wookie. I wonder if some of their tyres are starting to overheat and go off. I'm not 100% sure how long the inters can last for. I'd imagine that they are probably going to need to pit soonish. Wookie pulls the trigger then, he jumps into the pit box and so does Chip. That might set up the overcut from Wee Rabby and Clay. We'll see what happens. Would be mega if we could get some sort of update on what the tyres percentage were on this game. Just so you could have a little look and have a look on who's got the best tyres. It doesn't look like that's even an option. So are we going to see a box from Clay and Wee Rabby? I wonder. Also decides to jump into pits as well for a new set of the intermediate tyres. See where that does put these boys. It's gonna bring them out just ahead of Halsey if they were to pit now, in which they don't. We're gonna carry on. Marshall decides to pit though. There's still gonna be quite a bit of racing left in this if this carries on. Don't think them intermediate tyres are gonna go all the way. So it depends on when they decide to pit and how far out behind they're going to come, but they will obviously have fresher tyres if they decide to go a little bit longer. They might even feel that they can do the rest of the race on the tyre. Tyre wear might not be that high for them, but I can probably imagine it is. So we'll see what happens as they come round, jumps out. Are they going to box? They don't. Interesting, that is. Very, very interesting. Hindsight decides to hit then. So at the moment, they would come out behind Marshall. Down in P7. Wookie's now dispatched Halsey as well. Much fresher tyres than Halsey's got. We'll see if Marshall can do the same. Looks like he's got much better traction out of some of these corners on them fresh rubber. Still carrying on. We got what? 13 laps left. That'll make it almost 30 laps on intermediate tyres. Can't see it happening personally, but as Clay picks up 3 seconds track limits. That's very unfortunate for him. We'll see if that becomes an issue for him later on in this race when we cross the finish line. Anderson's retired from the session. He's retired in the pits. The Wookiee did manage to get past CB Gould and have got a bit of a gap now. Halsey also making it past Gould. Gould seems to be really struggling now. Marshall picks up a position. Doesn't look like there's going to be dry weather anytime soon. There is a bit of a dry line forming, but I don't think it's forming quick enough, if I'm honest. Chip also making it past Gould. Gould really starting to struggle, so he jumps into the box for a fresh set of intermediate. So there's GLM. Got 10 laps remaining. I'm just not sure them tyres are going to last. I really don't think they're going to last. Wee Rabby is now starting to struggle a little bit. That gap is forming. Wookie is getting much better drives out of these corners than Gainful on his 19-lap-old intermediate. Oh, as Wookie gets all squirrely into turn one. Lucky to have saved that. As I say that, not sure what happened there, but obviously Clay has lost a little bit of time again. So it looks like the rain is actually starting to pretty much stop. Still well too wet for slick tyres. Maybe these boys are trying to go till the slick weather. Ooh, as I say that, Wee Rabby jumps into the pit. That's leaving Clay out there all on his own up front. He's got a 15-second gap to Halsey. That now sort of puts him into a predicament that I don't think Clay really wanted to be in. He's going to be out there all on his own. Wee Rabby comes out behind James Brown. He's got a much better tyre difference to everyone that is around him. Some done 6, one that's done 21, so he's going to cut the deficit down quite a lot in a short amount of time, but will that be a mistake from Clay or not? Just trying to have a little look if there's any sort of idea of how badly them tyres are being affected now. The dry line is forming though. There's definitely an interesting strategy call going on here. He's losing a small amount of time to the car behind, but not massive amounts as he goes right there. Has he got a puncture, or is that just a mistake? That sound is doing my nuts in. I mean, EA and Codemasters can't even do sounds properly either. As that rear is looking a little bit slippery from Clayton now. As Marshall's looking for a move on Halsey. Wee Rabby has joined that little train from Gainful downwards. Well, Gainful James Brown. Gainful is 4.2 seconds off the back of Wookie. James Brown makes it past Gainful. Gainful and Wee Rabby having a bit of argy-bargy there. Ooh. Not 100% sure what happened there. Well, that sent Wee Rabby onto the grass. He's lost quite a lot of time there. I think if we do see slicks again, it is going to be the last probably 2 laps, if that. I mean, the rain is still coming down, but there is a dry line forming. Although Clay is losing quite a bit of time to Halsey behind now. I lost about 4 seconds in 2 or 3 laps, which could be of concern with that 3-second time penalty that Clay does have. You can see how much he's trying to nurse his tyres now. He's still not boxing though, he's going to carry on. So let's see who's going to be brave enough to jump onto the slick tyres first. Marshall makes it past Halsey. There's a small battle as they go down to turn 4. Clean from them both. So that's going to open the door now to chip up the inside of Marshall. Gets the move done nicely there. Nice little move from Chip. Hindsight just getting the move done on Kane, I think, or Riker might have made the move on Captain, I'm not 100% sure. That gap is now dropping massively from Halsey to Clay. If Clay's got any more pace he could use, it needs to be now. Marshall heads to the outside, but Chip is going to cover that one off right now. Wee Rabby goes past Gainful in turns 1 and 2. Gets the move done, but I think he's lost too much time now to even think about a charge up the field. He's going to really need to put some qualifying laps in to try and get himself close. I don't really know if it's hard to tell what the track is doing. I mean, it's raining, but I can't really see too many wet patches. We did have a dry line forming. It's probably just too wet at the moment. As Bloom and Curly decide to pull the plug. This is going to be the telltale sign. We'll keep an eye on that gap as they come out of the pits and see if they can make any sort of time. Bloom's just going to come out. It's going to be blue flagged. think that was by Halsey. He stayed off the racing line. Wee Rabby picks up 3 seconds worth of track limits. The gap now from Clay to Halsey is 4.5 seconds. Also picks up 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Not really getting too much information from the two guys that have boxed onto slick tyres. Clay's going to go for another lap. Oh, as Clay's had a big moment there. I don't know whether he might actually have a puncture. It looks like he does have a puncture. Rear right tyre is gone. Oh, it's heartbreak for Clay. How's he got caught up in that one? Just come round the corner, I don't think he saw Clay. And that's Halsey out after a good charge. There's obviously not going to be any safety cars here, so it's not going to play into not going to go in Clay's favour, that one. That's really unfortunate for him. Driving a really good race there, but obviously 27 lap old tyres. I think it was inevitable that was going to happen eventually. As he jumps into the pit. It's unfortunate for Clay. He's having a really good race, but we now turn our attention to the battle at the top. Obviously Wookie has got that 3-second time penalty on that. Wee Rabby has 3 seconds as well, so there's Hindsight, Clay, Wab, Curly and Bloom has 6, also has 10 for speeding in the pit lane. Does look like it is dries now. Obviously too little too late for the guys that have jumped onto the slick tyre. Definitely is dry weather, that is for sure. Wookie is gaining a bit of time on shit there. Kane picks up 3 seconds, Wuban picks up 10 seconds for corner cutting. James Brown makes it past Chip. Marshall picks up 3 seconds as well. Wee Rabby takes that position from him. Gainful now looks like he has a puncher as well. He does. It's unfortunate for Gainful. I didn't think they were going to make it 30 laps. I was correct. Well done to Wookie there. And he's managed to get the 3 second gap as well. That's a mega drive from him. James Brown P2, Chip P3, Wee Rabby P4, Marshall P5, Gainful is going to attempt to take P6 with a puncher on the rear right. Riker 7th, Gould 8th, Phoenix 9th, Kane 10th, Hindsight 11th, Clay takes P12, Wab P13, Wuban 14, Osso 15, Curly and Bloom were lapped, they take 16 and 17, Halsey, Anderson and Carl Trim all did not finish. So just confirmation there of your feature race results. Wookie taking P1, James Brown P2, Chip P3, Wee Rabby P4, Marshall P5, Gainful P6, Riker P7, Gould P8, Phoenix P9, Kane P10, Hindsight P11, Clay P12 after that puncher. Disappointing one for him, but good race nonetheless. Wab 13, Wuban 14, Osso 15, Curly and Bloom a lap down, but 16 and 17. Halsey, Anderson and Carl did not finish. So there will be no podium interviews tonight. I do apologise, guys, but I really need to go and tend to my daughter now. Obviously, hopefully you can join us on Tuesday for Singapore, I think it might be. Let me just double check. Yep, Singapore on Tuesday for the F2. If not, obviously join us next Friday and Sunday for Singapore. I hope you enjoyed the race. I do apologise about the crashes early on through my internet. I will get that sorted for next week, but I appreciate you tuning in. This has been King Luckman for CDR Tier 3, round 4 at Brazil. Luckman over and out.